Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 706, Mayberry Days 2022 report. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Got some really cool new stuff coming over there, so head over there and check it out. These are new, the Mayberry calendars. You got a wall calendar and a flip day-by-day calendar. Get those before they're gone, because this is for 2023. You got to get them. You also got a brand new Andy Griffith Show squad car, 1964 version. It's a 1:43 scale, so it's about 5.5 inches by 2 inches. Go and check that out. It's really cool. And we got a Mayberry tea towel, all over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Go and check it out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. And the executive producer of episode number 706 is Robert Null. So thank you, Robert, and thank you for being here on the podcast with me. I asked last week if folks would be willing to write or call or send me things to give their updates about Mayberry Days. And thank you to all who have done so. I really want to thank you for that. That's really cool. And so we're going to play in the audio, and we even got one video. So we're going to play those for you as we go through the podcast and hear about Mayberry Days. And wow, guys, Mayberry Days was an amazing event. Always is, but it's just always so fun to gather in Andy Griffith's hometown, Mount Airy, North Carolina, and just just enjoy the festivities. It is so much fun to be a part of it. This year it was held on the 18th through the 25th. Or no, that's next year. They've already got it updated. So next year it's going to be on the 18th through the 25th of 2023. So there you go, guys. Make plans for next year. You're hearing the report for today. So next year is already planned, and the dates are there on their website. If you go to mayberrydays.com, it'll show you all the information. They're already planning. Oh my goodness. They are ahead. So the fun thing is they have a lot of really cool photos over there. So we'll try to look at a few of those as we go. So we're going to hear these Mayberry Days reports. We're going to hear from SpiritWalker with Returning to Mayberry this week. And we'll talk a little bit about the fact that this podcast is 14 years old as of the day you're going to hear this, the 11th of October, 2022. 11th of October, 2022 would be our 14th year. Starting it. Woo, gosh, that kind of hurts to say it out like that. So let's go and check out some of the voicemails we got. We'll go with those first because we've got one from Tom, and he was listening, getting ready for Mayberry Days, I believe. So let's hear from Tom.
Hi, Alan. This is Tom from Vincennes, Indiana, hometown of Red Skelton. I also known as Lydia's dad in the chat room. Just want to let you know how much fun I'm having with your podcast, listening to it. I started about 7 months ago. I'm well into 200 episodes, and I'm listening to them in reverse order, which is the way my player comes up. It will go with the most recent and then go down in reverse order to the last one I listened to. So it's the evolution of your podcast, but it's in reverse. So I call it the reverse evolution or the revolution of Two Chairs. So very interesting. I love the Randy Turner stuff. Just love all the stuff I pick up all along the way. It's just stuff I didn't know about the show. It's terrific. Also wanted to let you know I'm looking forward to Mayberry Days. This will be my 6th or maybe 7th. I've missed a couple of years in between. I think my first one was back in 2010. But really looking forward to Mayberry Days. My father and I are going to be driving from Southern Indiana. He's 89. He's been to several. He loves it. We're so looking forward to this. My brother and his wife, they're driving from San Diego, California. So it's going to they're leaving tomorrow. But we'll be there for the entire week. You got to be there for the entire week. And I'm looking forward to the banana pudding ice cream. You're going to have to let me know again where I go to get that. So we'll see you there. And I also wanted to see if there's somewhere to meet up with everybody that's in the chat room. Put some faces with these names. Keep up the good work. And like I said, hope to see you at Mayberry Days.
Wow. Thank you, Tom. Thanks for taking time. And wow, driving from San Diego. Oh my goodness. All the way across the country to go to Mayberry Days. That is dedication. And so they deserve high praise for making it. There normally is a place where we gather. This year in 2022, I honestly was just too busy to schedule and try to get that. Plus, they've been doing some construction down near the amphitheater, and I wasn't really quite sure where we could actually gather. So I did not arrange for us to have a time after the trivia contest. It's almost always following the adult trivia or the Mayberry World Championship trivia. I don't like calling it adult trivia. That sounds completely wrong. So it's right after the Mayberry Trivia Championship. Normally, we would gather on the hill there, and everybody just introduce each other and mention and say their names out, so everybody can get to know one another. Because a lot of us don't know what we look like. You know, we've maybe emailed one another, we've communicated in that way, but we don't know visually how to recognize our fellow Mayberry fans and the folks that come into these chat rooms and things like that. So next year, if anybody's there, if anybody's able to come, we will try to do better. I will try to do better and make sure we do have that get together. This year was honestly a little stressful for me because I don't know if you guys remember, I was part of the filming the Mayberry Man, the series that was coming out. I went straight from there to film a little bit more in Mount Airy and then do Mayberry Days. And so it was really a kind of a whirlwind for me. So it was not, I didn't get it done. So I'm sorry, Tom. I hope you get to meet people. And he does have a report about going to Mayberry Days that we're going to hear in just a few minutes. So we'll hear that as well. So let's hear another. Let's see. This one is also from a Tom. I think a different one. Let's check this out.
Hi, Alan. Tom Fogel calling here from Ohio. Just wanted to relate a quick Mayberry incident for you. Went to the Mayberry Days last week. I've been doing that for several years, always an enjoyable time. And just wanted to relate two people that we were able to meet. My friend and I talked with Randy Turner and SpiritWalker, both recognized SpiritWalker from the podcast, and of course Randy from the podcast, as well as seeing him at the meetup this year. But just wanted to relate what special friends they seem to be already, just with one meeting, and obviously part of the Mayberry family, and wanted to relate what super guys they are. Their knowledge is unsurpassed when it comes to the show, and they are just enjoyable to talk with, and we spoke for a good long time. And just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you sharing those two on your podcast with all of us, and let everybody else know that if they ever get a chance, they need to chat with them. They're great guys. They've signed the books that we bought, and really an enjoyable time. So just want to thank you and let everybody else know. Talk to you soon. Love the podcast.
Thank you. And yeah, they are great guys. And I am so thankful that they take time to actually submit reports and do these podcasts for me. I really appreciate that because it just adds to the information that we're able to get out there. So I'm glad you enjoyed getting to meet them. They were at Mayberry Days, both of them, and were running around. So hopefully you got to meet them. Randy did a presentation, and they both had book signings during Mayberry Days. So hopefully you did get to meet them if you were there. All right, so now let's see here. We got one more in this batch. This is let's see. This is, I think, referring back to Randy's interview. So we're not completely into the reports yet, but this is all good feedback from you guys. So let's hear from this one.
Hello, Alan. This is Mike Barnett from Greensboro, North Carolina, also known as One Bullet Man. Anyway, I wanted to tell you that I did enjoy the series of episodes with the interview of Randy Turner. Very insightful and just a pleasant conversation to get in on. Thank you for doing that. Also, enjoyed Mayberry Days this year. It was good to meet you and to be able to talk for just a little while. Very gracious of you to do that. Enjoyed bringing my family there. Got to get most of the children first time at the Andy Griffith show, Andy Griffith Museum, and that was a great experience. And then we got to sit through the entirety of the World Championship of Mayberry Trivia. And I just want to go on record and say, I think I got about 3 of the answers to all those questions they asked. So fantastic. Had a great time. Thanks again. Keep up the good work, and God bless you.
Well, that's pretty good, actually. I mean, I wouldn't feel too bad about getting 3. They're not that easy to get. So good job there. Thank you for that little report as well. Guys, there's so much going on at Mayberry Days. If you're watching the video version of the podcast, I'm actually showing some pictures from time to time that are straight off the mayberrydays.com website. If you go there, you can go over to the About section. And then from the About section, you can do a drop down, and there are history and photos. If you go there, you'll find all the kinds of pictures from not just this past year, but from previous years as well, that are amazing pictures from Mayberry Days. So about the things you're going to hear us talking about during this episode, you can go and look at the pictures, and you'll kind of be able to start picking out who we're talking about. So I had this really neat call that came in. It's fairly short, but it was really neat for me. Maybe it won't be as neat for you. So let's go and hear from this one. This person you may have heard of before.
Hey, Alan, this is T. Graham Brown, man. Sitting here watching one of your podcasts about Floyd the Barber, and just want to say I love you, man. So get in touch with me so we can stay in touch, buddy. Bye.
So, wow, that's T. Graham Brown. T. Graham Brown, you may hopefully know who he is. He's a country singer. He's been in the business for years. He's had multiple #1 songs, and he's been at Mayberry Days the last couple of years. And I was able to meet him last year, had a great time. I know I've talked about him before on the podcast. I was excited that he told me he was watching the podcast. That was making, and he is such a great guy. He gave me his contact information last year, but I was like, and he said, if you don't call me, I'm gonna be upset with you. And I was like, well, I don't want to intrude. I don't want to call him anything or bother him. Anyway, so after that message, I sent him a text message so he would have my contact information. And he and I went back for about 2 hours doing quotes from the Andy Griffith Show at each other. Oh, and what fun. Oh my goodness. He's such a great guy. I told him last year, I said, I know you're famous and everything, but I really just like you because you're a huge Mayberry fan. And he was like, oh, I'm not sure I'm famous, but I'm pretty sure he is. So it's really nice, but he's a great, very kind person, very nice man. So thank you, T, for calling in. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing it. I mean, I liked it. So now we're going to hear from Miss Mayberry, who's in our chat room, Sarah Blaine. So let's hear from Sarah.
It was great to see you all. We enjoy Colonel Tim's a lot. The skits were funny. I like my Mayberry friends and Colonel Tim's. Keep up your good work. I love your podcast.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm glad you had a great time and you're enjoying the podcast. It was great seeing you during Mayberry Days as well. So now let's hear, we've got another one. Now this is Randy. He's calling in to, he's letting me know that I got the years wrong. Last week I said that I knew there were people there from 4 years old up to 90 something years old. And he's correcting my low end because I think he had better information than me. So let's hear from him.
Hey, Alan, this is Randy Nelson from Maryland, calling as requested about Mayberry Days experience. You mentioned the youngest in attendance was, I believe you said 4 years old. I'd like to issue a request for correction on that. My little baby was there for the first time. He's 5 months old, but he was 4.5 months at that time. And he was there at the Earl Theater, and I was there for the Ruta Lee talk, and his mother, my wife, and him posed with Barney and Juanita, and anyway, we had a good old time. So I just wanted to let you know that I really enjoyed getting to meet Ruta Lee. It really was a bucket list item for me to meet someone from the show. So that really thrilled me. I didn't think I'd be able to do that. I, of course, had tickets to the lecture with Professor Bauer, but I didn't know that I'd get to meet her. So anyway, it was a real treat. Thank you. Appreciate the podcast. And it was good to meet you as well, Alan and SpiritWalker.
Thank you. I cut you off nearly there. So yeah, thank you. It's good to meet you as well. And Ruta Lee was, or is, an amazing person. She was really fun to listen to and hear tell stories. She was, she's definitely a pistol. I tell you, I don't know how to describe her. She will say what she thinks, and she was very fun to be around as well. All right. So we have one last voicemail here, and then I got a letter I want to read you, and then a report from Mayberry Days as well. So let's hear this quick one from Patrick.
Yeah, this is Patrick Carmelis from Terre Haute, Indiana. I love this show. People were friendly, nice, and very good actors. Real good actors. Terre Haute Buzz, Andy Griffith Show. Talk to you later.
Thank you, Patrick. And I'm sure the Andy Griffith Show would love Terre Haute, Indiana as well. I've never been there. I never got to go there. So that's, but thank you for taking time to call in. And the Andy Griffith Show is a special thing. All right. So let me read you a letter that I received. And this is from Matt. It's actually a written letter. I don't get those very often. Okay. So let's read this. It says, "Hi, Alan. I wanted to thank you for playing my voice message during your 700th podcast. I was very surprised to hear my own voice. I wanted to share with you that I had more to say than the 90 seconds will allow." The voicemails are cut off after about 90 seconds is what he's referring to. He said, "I lost my mom from a brief illness impacted by COVID. He said that was back in July. Prior to that, I was able to visit 3 times a week. And on one of those visits, while she was on all those machines, the IVs, the ventilators, and etc., we were able to watch the Andy Griffith Show episode on Pluto, on the app, the Pluto.tv. The show we dropped in on was The Mountain Wedding, when the Darlings and Andy and the Preachers sang Leaning on an Everlasting Arm. What have I to dread? What have I to fear? Leaning on the everlasting arm. He said, I hummed it along with Mom. She's in heaven now, but I'm thankful for that moment. She loved many things in life, but her favorite show is the Andy Griffith Show. We even had all the old board game that came out in the 90s. She almost always won. Over and out, 10-4, Matt Chambers." So they were able to listen to that together, and I think you'll never hear that again, Matt, without thinking about her. So I will try to remember to play that at the end of the podcast as well. So thank you for telling that. And I'm so glad you got to spend that time with your mom, you know, that she got comfort and joy out of that. All right, guys. So our final Mayberry Days report, well, at least this week, maybe some more of you guys will be inspired, is coming in now. And this is a video version. So now if you're only listening to the audio version, he's going to refer to things he's showing. I don't think it'll matter too much to you, but if you want to watch the video version of the podcast, you'll be able to see what he's actually talking about. So let's go and check this out.
Hi, everyone. This is Tom, also known as Lydia's dad, in the chat room, sharing with you some pictures from Mayberry Days of this year. My father and I went. He's 89. We enjoy going to Mayberry Days. We've gone several times. We left Southern Indiana on Sunday of Mayberry Days, got there Sunday night. So Monday morning, the first order of business was, of course, the snappy lunch. You got to get there early for breakfast. So we wanted to make sure we got the breakfast out of the way so we weren't standing in line later in the week. And then we just hung around for lunch. Got the pork chop sandwich all the way, of course, the only way to eat it. And then we went for a nice scenic drive along the Blue Ridge Parkway in Southern Virginia. It's always so nice. And when you're into taking pictures like I am, it's a must see for to go there. We spent the day, a good part of the day there at there's the Mayberry Mill, of course, that featured in the Mayberry Man movie. Then we were at the Mayberry, the old general store, which we were there for the very last day before it changed hands. The ownership changed hands the following day. They've sold it. The family that has owned it for a long time. Then we went by to visit the gravesite of Chang and Ang, the quote unquote Siamese twins, the bunkers buried there in Mount Airy. And then we went and visited a cousin who was staying at a nearby campsite. Came home Monday night. That's my brother, my dad, and my cousin. Came home Monday, went into our motel. And in the lobby is Randy Travis with his wife. And they so cordially visited with everybody that came through. There's a suspicious looking character there. If I didn't know better, I'd swear that was Jeff Gossett with Randy Travis. And then, of course, the next night, Ruta Lee is staying at our hotel. So there she is with my cousin. And, of course, it made the trip worthwhile for my dad to nuzzle up to Ruta there. She's so friendly, such a nice person. And she stayed in our hotel, and we had breakfast and visited with her quite a bit during the week. So then later on in the week, I purchased Thelma Lou's book and also Ruta Lee's book. Now, when I get Thelma Lou's book with the autograph book mark, as you see there, you get a chance to spin the wheel for an extra $10 and win a purse or jewelry or any number of things that Thelma Lou once owned. Of course, I was wanting the jewelry. I got the purse, but that's okay. My wife loves it. They say she may have actually put those flowers on there herself, that she liked doing that. We sure miss Betty Lynn at Mayberry Days. T. Graham Brown was providing the entertainment at the golf event afterwards, the dinner. That was a lot of fun. Friday, we went to I went and hung around the gas station, got a bottle of pop, and just hung out with the locals. Some of the locals you'll see there. Oh, there's some locals. Charlene / Andalina was there with the tribute artist for Barney. That was nice. They're fun. Baraka Valley, as always, put on a great show. That was such a nice event down there. You just had everyone milling around and the music and everything. It was just so nice. There's Greg Shell with the I really like this Mayberry tribute artist, by the way, this Barney 5 character. Here's some trivia contest winners over at the amphitheater later on in the day. And Saturday morning, of course, the parade. People got out early. The weather was perfect for the parade. Had a great time at the parade. As you can see, the crowd was 2-3 people deep, some places more, down in front of the Snappy Lunch. I got down there early because I wanted to get a shot of the Grand Marshal. There's Margaret Carey, the Grand Marshal, with her husband, Bob Bokey. She's 94, he's 97, the story of their romance. Then I went up and caught him again at the top of the hill. And they're such a fun couple. We spend a lot of time with them whenever they're around, either be it in California or in Mount Airy. There's or other places as well. Here's Ronnie Shell with as Duke Slater in a couple episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. He's in the parade. Everyone was at the Potato Queen. I love the hat. Very nice. We had Colonel Harlan Sanders, tribute artist. And we also had the Little Fat Mayor, Mayor Pike, Eric Lowry, and Malcolm Tucker was taking a walk, early Sunday morning walk on a Saturday morning through the streets of Mayberry. And here's Two Floyds, No Waiting, along with the Little Fat Mayor, Eric Lowry. Love him. This next picture I had to throw in there. 97-year-old Bob Bokey, and that is Margaret Carey's husband, 97 years old, veteran of World War II, getting carded at the Cracker Barrel. That was hilarious. We love that. And on the way home on Sunday morning, I ran into my brother and his wife. That's them along with my dad. They were in West Virginia on their way back from a bike trip in Missouri, and they live in Southern Virginia, and we just passed them in West Virginia. It was really nice. And then we just moseyed on home the rest of the way, got home Sunday night. Once again, just a wonderful Mayberry Days. We enjoyed every time we go. The crowd was huge this year, just absolutely terrific. And thank you, Alan, for allowing me to share my pictures here on the Two Chairs, No Waiting podcast.
No, thank you for taking the time to put it together. And everybody's voice is better than mine that's on my podcast. Everybody's voice sounds more like it should be on the radio than mine. So great job, Tom. You sounded great. The pictures are great. If you didn't get to see the pictures, head over to twocairsnowaiting.com. Go to episode number 706, and you can watch the video version right there on the site. So you'll be able to see these wonderful pictures that he was referring to. And wow, really, if you hear those, the last couple there that we had played, it was so much about family, wasn't it? It was family. So Tom was meeting up with his family. He brought his dad, he met different people that were friends and relatives, and they shared a Mayberry Days together and shared their love of the Andy Griffith Show together. And what made it special was, Andy Griffith Show, Mayberry Days was special, but what really made it special was that they got to spend it with family and friends. And the same was true about Matt's letter. He got to spend time with his mother. Folks, I think that's the lesson we take away from these different Mayberry events and just the Andy Griffith Show as a whole, that while it's great to have these experiences, it's the people you have them with that make it so special. So Mayberry Days wouldn't be as special if you were just there by yourself. I mean, it'd be fun. You'd have a good time. But if you've got people there with you or friends that you get to meet up with and spend time and visit with, I think that's what really makes it like a family reunion. So those are some of the reports I've gotten. I haven't gotten any additional ones to that. I'll probably try to give an actual report from my perspective in the coming weeks as well. I hope you guys don't mind that. This is it's a lot of fun to me to hear your thoughts and what you saw. I do want to encourage you to head over to mayberrydays.com and go over to the About section and to the history, and you'll be able to find photos there. And you'll be able to see cool things like the Colonel Tim's event that we did. We did a fun little routine where Barney stole my pants, and then Otis was asking where Barney, because he stole my pants, because I always introduce the opening for Colonel Tim's. I do that now since the last 5 years or so. And so he stole my pants so he could come out and do it. And then Otis sticks his head out and says, "Barney, have you got Floyd's pants?" And he goes, "Yeah, I got them so I could come out." He said, "Well, give them back. He's got mine." And then I come out wearing Otis's pants, trying to get my pants back from Barney, but he's already given them to Otis. So then Otis comes out wearing my pants. So we have to go back and change clothes. Anyway, there's all kinds of silliness like that goes on during Colonel Tim's and the different events. Hopefully we'll have video of a lot of this stuff in the next few months here, and maybe I can show some of this. But Mayberry Days is a special time. Head over to mayberrydays.com and you can see what's coming up next year and try to make plans to be there. I know you'd love it. I know you love it. It's a lot of fun, and we have a wonderful time. All right, so I'm going to throw us now into getting to hear from Returning to Mayberry with SpiritWalker, and we'll hear what he has to say this week in his segment. I guess we'll get to hear what he's singing too. So let's let Randy Turner introduce him. We'll do that.
Welcome to Returning to Mayberry with special correspondent SpiritWalker from the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club.
Thanks, Randy. Hello, Mayberry Spirit Watchers. Welcome to my undisclosed location somewhere deep within the bowels of the Andy Griffith Show Research Laboratories and Beachfront Resort, where me and the boys at the lab have been working on a new link just for you. Of course, our challenge is to take something, a person, place, or thing from Mayberry, remove it from Mayberry, connect it to something else, and continue the connections until something returns back to Mayberry. And I think you're going to find this particular link pretty interesting. Let's start this new episode with one of my favorite episodes from Season 3, Convicts at Large. In this episode, Barney and Floyd are captured by a group of 3 women prisoners, Big Maud Tyler, Naomi Connors, and Sally. It is a hilarious episode written by the talented writing team of Jim Fritzell and Everett Greenbaum, who wrote 29 episodes of The Andy Griffith Show. I want to spring out of Mayberry on the back of Everett Greenbaum. Greenbaum was born on December 20th, 1919 in Buffalo, New York. In 1953, he teamed up with Jim Fritzell to write scripts for television shows. Their first show was Mr. Peepers, starring Wally Cox. You know, Fritzell and Greenbaum were a script-writing powerhouse for 32 years. They won 3 Writers Guild Awards. They collaborated on more than 150 scripts. They wrote for The Real McCoys, The Andy Griffith Show, even MASH, among others. They also wrote the script for Don Knotts' movie, The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. I think they were a very interesting writing team. But Greenbaum's personal life was also very interesting. One of his dear friends, Leonard Garment, was a clarinet player who also studied law. As a musician, he was one of the founding members of the National Jazz Museum in Harlem, and in 2005, he was awarded the National Medal of Arts by President George W. Bush. But I want to talk about his career in law. He graduated from Brooklyn Law School in 1949 and became a partner in the law firm Mudge, Stern, Baldwin, and Todd. In 1963, another lawyer joined the firm. That lawyer's name was Richard Nixon. As a result, Garment assisted Nixon in his 1968 presidential campaign. Richard Milhouse Nixon became the 37th President of the United States on January 20th, 1969, and Garment, he became a member of Nixon's White House staff. During his presidential run, Nixon made an appearance on the TV comedy variety show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. On September 16th, 1968, Nixon appeared on the episode entitled Guest Starring Barbara Feldon. In that episode, he uttered the show's popular catchphrase,
"Sock it to me."
Also in that episode was a series regular, Artie Johnson. Johnson's German stormtrooper character and his dirty old man character were popular fan favorites. But before Johnson made his first appearance on Laugh-In, he appeared as a big city hotel clerk in the 25th episode of Season 2 of The Andy Griffith Show, Andy and Barney in the Big City. So there you have it, from writer Everett Greenbaum in Mayberry to clarinetist and lawyer Leonard Garment, from Garment to President Richard Nixon, from Nixon to Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, from Laugh-In to Artie Johnson, and from Artie Johnson back to Mayberry as a hotel clerk. You know, it never ceases to amaze me at everybody and everything that can be connected to Mayberry. And if you have a link connection that you'd like me to take on, drop me a line at tagsrl55@gmail.com, or you can contact me by personal message on my Facebook group, The Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club. That's at facebook.com/groups/TAGS Esquire Club. So until next time, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And keep spreading that Mayberry spirit. I thank you. It's so fine to spend some time.
All right. So thank you, Spirit Walker, for this great report. And make sure you go over there and check it out. Send them an email. I know you enjoy these reports because I do. They are always a lot of fun. And wow, he comes up with so many amazing connections. But I guess people, when he's talking about everything always connects to the Andy Griffith Show, I think people have been accusing me of that for years, that no matter what they say to me, I somehow turn it around into being some type of a conversation about the Andy Griffith Show. I've heard that for years. Actually, it almost always happens. If I just say anything on Facebook, it probably turns into an Andy Griffith Show discussion. So I haven't been returning to Mayberry, but I've been making those connections, not as well as SpiritWalker does, but I've been making them for years. So maybe that's why I enjoy his connections so much. Well, folks, hey, that is what we have this week. There will be, I think, more reports probably from Mayberry Days because there's just so much that happened. This year, I thought there were more events going on throughout the weekend than I can recall. I was running as Floyd to introduce or to, MC the different events. I was having to go from one to the other. Boom, boom, boom. I couldn't stay and watch any of them. I had to start it, maybe stick around for about 15 minutes, and I had to leave to go to the next one. And so there were so many. We had first-time guests like Ruta Lee and Daniel Roebuck. We had returning guests, that Ronnie Shell from Gomer Pyle, and of course the Andy Griffith Show as well, and Disney movies and so many other things as well. We had, as we said, T. Graham Brown was there singing. We had Rodney Dillard and the Dillard Band there singing. It was just an amazing weekend of everything going on. So like Tom mentioned, he was there for the whole week because Mayberry Days does begin on Monday. So you can they have events every night, leading all the way up to the biggest events start on Thursday for the golf tournament, and then Friday and Saturday. Those are the 3 big days, but it has expanded out to being a full week of just visiting and having a good time with people. The first part of the week's usually easier to relax. Oh, I should mention too, the banana ice cream that he mentioned can be found at the Dairy Center there in Mount Airy. So they have it at other places as well. So you might enjoy theirs as well, but I can just attest that the Dairy Centers is pretty amazing. if you like banana pudding. All right, guys, that is what I have for us this week. I want to thank you all for being here. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. I would love to hear from you. More reports from Mayberry Days would be welcome. Very welcome to come. And you can tell about the trivia contest. You can tell about the who's been messing up the bulletin board solid auction. Nobody's even talked about those things yet. And not really. There's so many things that went on. Daniel's show that he did was a great success. Everybody said it was wonderful. So many things to talk about. I would love to hear your thoughts. So give me a call or email me at floyd@imayberry.com. However you'd like to get in touch, I'd love to hear from you. So until next time, folks, have a great Mayberry week, and we'll see you right here on 2 Chairs.